Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that little bit of a delay. Had a little meeting on the phone that went kind of like this near the last 5 minutes. I was like, "Yep, well, yeah, yeah, we'll talk. Okay, sure, yeah, we'll do." Blah, blah. And it's like, "Okay, gotta go. Bye." So I apologize for the little late start, but let's take a look at our markets and let's take a review of our trades. Let's take a look at everything that is going on and moving. So, we discussed yesterday about the euro coming down to this 45 and possibly finding some support zone and then pulling back to here to find a little bit of resistance, which we have found. Now, it's yet to be determined whether or not this is going to hold here as a resistance zone or we're going to buy up a little bit more. But let's just kind of look at our trade. So yesterday on the dollar yen, we wanted to go long at a hold above 109.4, which we did have, and we are still above it. We actually had a nice bit of rally and drive up, and that the fact that we've crossed back above this middle harmonic is very bullish, and we'll come back to this. The pound dollar, we wanted to go short at 135.03. We really did not get down there last night. We just kind of traded up from here, and we've been really kind of hovering around in this range. Now, it looks like the pound dollar is just going to sit here in base for however long it wants to before we have another drive down. So that trade really did not play out at all. Did not get an entry there at all. Aussie dollar, gosh, I am so surprised at the weakness of this guy here. Wanted a short on a pullback to 74.9. We haven't gotten there yet. We're at currently at we actually moved lower. We continue to make lower lows, and we should continue to observe that to be playing out as we're going along here. Lower lows should be the kind of motive of or move of the weeks here because the Aussie dollar is extremely weak. The New Zealand dollar, we wanted to go short on a pullback to the 70 value area. We did get that. I mean, depending on how aggressive you were on the entry, we are in that area. Had a pullback to this arc, and we'll see how much more rejection we get because certainly this could turn into another deep short. And then gold, we wanted to go short with gold at 13, 11, 19. We did get some movement down on that yesterday and overnight, and we've kind of rallied back up. We've just been literally trading in this range here, and this angle has been acting as our resistance during that entire process. So, moving forward here, let's look at gold as we're looking to trade. On the daily chart, we're looking mostly pretty flat, but on the composite index, we're looking like we're going to go lower, which is totally normal. A lot of buying tails here, but a lot of inability to go higher, and a lot. So what this means is a lot of the buyers that are stuck in this region, who have bought down here, who have not taken profit, if we start to drift lower again, they're going to be the fuel to push this lower. And the dollar index has caught quite a bit of strength behind it still, and we should really observe gold get weaker as a result of that. Looking at the euro, again, maybe finding something resembling a bottom here, but probably not. Anytime there seems to be some type of bounce or rally here, people get caught. I've actually been caught trying to catch some of these starts to pullbacks back and forth, and actually been able to catch some short runs on these. But the strength of the downside move here is very strong, so it's very dangerous to want to go to the counter trend for any extended amount of time. If we look at where are we at? US dollar is very nice right up there. On the daily, it's a pretty nice bounce here on the composite index. On the 4 hour, what do we see? A little toppy, but this angle's been more resistive than this price level. So as we tighten up, we may see us drive higher out of this zone. So pay attention to that. The pound dollar catching that bounce that we were discussing. Really want to see how much conviction there is to sit here, but we may just go lower. Just kind of keep our eyes out for that. U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, bit of a drive down from this level. Now this is the thing I was looking at as a cause for concern, was this pivot in time, because we on a longer frame we have been in a bit of a down move, and now we're trading up. But it looks like that on this so far, this pivot may be acting as a pivot to drive down lower. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Aussie dollar showing a little bit of a bounce pattern here on the 4 hour, and really going to probably keep the trades like we were. And so short at a pullback to 0.749. That's probably going to be that's more than likely going to be the trade we're going to look for there. New Zealand dollar. If this arc holds as resistance, which it may or may not, we'll have to see. Really have to check to see how this plays out. Really not interested in taking a trade right there. Aussie dollar, US dollar, Canadian dollar, pound. Pound, if we want to go from swing to swing, we're probably looking at shorting again at the top of this arc here. So we're saying the 136.31. That's a good pullback to short. Dollar yen, I think right now on the dollar yen, it's best if we hold the shorts or hold the longs until we get a clear break above the 109.85. So that's where we're going to want to see, because right now it looks like we're forming somewhat of a double top here on the 4 hour. Could be a little bearish move and momentum going forward here. We'll have to see though. Euro, maybe a little bit of a bounce here. We'll have to watch to see what happens. And the euro, if we don't hold this arc, we may get to trade up to this 2x1, and we'll see how price responds. But certainly because we're in this downwards square now, it's harder for price to want to trade away in any direction from this 45. So any move higher should be very limited, but so we could say really get short at 1938 euro. Short at pullback to 19. What? That would be a good zone to look at. Yeah, let's look at cryptos real quick. So yesterday, and actually ever since Sunday, we've had a bit of a drive and a sell-off down in Bitcoin, and we did test lower. We fell below this downward trend line, but now we've traded back above it. Currently on the 4 hour, caught a nice bid and we're trading above it. And without really looking at anything else, we have this pivot in time, which is more than likely going to act as a rejection of this down move to keep moving up. We see the 10,000 value area is still right in front of us, and this little pullback was actually pretty decent and nice. We should have and was expected. There's a steep pullback. The pitch of the slope here was steep, so that we've crossed above it and held above it on the 4 hour so far is pretty bullish. We should see if there is some type of continuation higher here, but otherwise, looking at the performance of Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin has not led the majors for a while. It's been a while. Really ever since the bounce out of this zone down here, Ethereum has been leading the charge, and even Litecoin has to some degree. But Bitcoin has not. Bitcoin's been kind of a laggard compared to its peers. But ultimately, to get to that 10K zone, we are going to have to experience some of these pullbacks and some of these drives lower, which need to be done. They have to be they have to be done in order to facilitate higher prices. Because really, all we're doing is we're making these lower zones that we're trading into big, deep base support zones, and they're turning into really good areas in the future. What I'm saying is that before we did not have a lot of price activity to support the higher prices. Now we have been forming a very, very nice thick volume profile, which is telling us that in the future, if and when prices pull back down to this zone later from their elevated areas, then we will see deep support from this zone. All right. So currently, I'm anticipating a drive beyond 10K over the next 9 trading days. That we should be above that level because we have the pivot and all that jazz. All right. So, looking at some like other cryptocurrencies like ADA. This is one of my favorites to trade. I like ADA. It's a good trade. There's others. Walton Coin. It's got a good setup there. ADX. Let's see. Steam needs to pick it up a little bit. Nano. IOTA, little deep pullback from its crazy move yesterday. EOS still experiencing some consolidation from its large drive up last week. EVST is a big old pump and dump thing we've got going on here. BitBay, I really like BitBay. It's one of the few things that actually has like a deliverable that is functional. But otherwise, yeah, it's a good one to trade as well. But yeah, the cryptocurrencies look like we're getting a marginal type of recovery today. We'll have to see how strong that recovery is going on into our day. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. Quick check back with our regular currencies. Take a peek at gold real quick again. Take a look at the hourly. Wanting to come back up here, but we are getting a little elevated on the 1 hour chart. Euro getting a little elevated on the 1 hour chart at this zone. Dollar yen. Dollar yen's doing well. The euro and the pound are doing well. It's a big old kerfluffle of activity. The pound dollar is looking a little elevated at these zones. US dollar, Canadian dollar is looking a little weak, like it wants to bounce off of here. Aussie dollar, definitely very accelerated move here. We'll have to watch, see what happens there. New Zealand dollar, pretty top-heavy move here. Might be a good short there. Let's look at our fib lines. What do we got? Yeah, it's going to be a pretty resistive zone, so Yeah, we're looking pretty good for that short zone here. Let's say we short on a pullback to 169.93. How about just 0.693? Wait, what is that? Six. You know what? Delete message for everyone. NZD USD short at 0.699. Let's just say it here. That's an okay zone. Cool. All right. Well, those are our trades for the day. We're not really looking at anything more dramatic or kind of out of the blue. Nice to see this. This is pretty bullish on the dollar yen, and I think we're getting some kind of a fake out rally maybe in the euro and some of the other guys here. It's looking pretty weak. We'll have to see though. Certainly strong strength for shorting to the downside in a lot of these pairs. And we'll just kind of continue looking at that as being our bias. Anyways, yeah, you guys have a good trading day. Hope you had a good trading day yesterday. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.